I usually say that from the very beginning of the war in Donbass, me and my colleagues were involved into this, and we were trying to do what we can as a filmmakers, so to do movies about that. So I was attached to several projects, and I was editing one film called Invisible Battalion about women soldiers and women veterans. And what they were saying impressed me really deeply, especially one phrase by one protagonist who said that the captivity was the scariest thing for her, and she even made a deal with her fellow combatants so they would kill her, shoot her, if there is a possibility of her being captured. That impressed me a lot. I started thinking what scarier than death awaits female soldier in captivity, and that's how I made up this story. Together with the director of that documentary, Irina Tsilek, we co-wrote the script. So it's a totally fiction story, but heavily influenced and inspired by our current reality. And also it turned out tragically that another protagonist of that film, of the Invisible Battalion, right now she is in captivity. Her name is Yulia Payevska. She was captured 50 days ago in Mariupol. She's a volunteer paramedic, so she shouldn't be treated as a prisoner of war since she isn't officially in the army. So that's why we call for her immediate release without any exchange, but at the same time that's why the enemy side doesn't include her in any exchange list. So we're trying to spread the word as far as possible just to make the situation better for her. Well, what it's like to be on the south of France for me right now, coming from Ukraine, that's actually what our film is about. You know, despite I'm like here it's sunny and very peaceful, and I'm very grateful to be accepted here. But I still feel myself at war, and I still feel not like actual soldiers who are fighting over then defending our peaceful life as it is here, of course. But I still feel that whatever I do, whatever actions I take, they are the parts of this struggle, of my people and all the European people and the people of the free world. And yeah, and that's how I consider everything that is happening around. You know, I just get me right. I don't want to sound like some mad person who is focused only on some bad things happening to them, but at the same time I just want to underline all these invisible connections and all these reason-consequence ties of what is done and what is happening. And as I've already told once, the war is not only a place where a location where the fire takes place. It's also the space that is protected, or the space that is involved. It's the people who are involved and who are under threat. So being here, I still consider it as a part of this process. Yeah. Well, first of all, I would love the audience, after watching the film, to just get this personalized experience of what a human at war goes through. And of course to realize that the war isn't over for a person once the fire is over. The traces of war keep chasing you for long after the hostilities are gone. And also I want to repeat that the war is not only a location where the shellings and fire takes place. Once there are people, spaces, values to be protected, and once some community, some society follows these values, they are the part of that war. If your values are under threat, if your life mode, mindset is under threat, then you are also under threat. And it's not some, obligation or direction to take some certain action, but it's better to be aware. So at this case, it's not a surprise for you that some processes start all of a sudden. No, there are some really reasons of these to happen. So yeah.